Hey everyone, this is Mark from Wiki Design. If you're new here, welcome. If you already an existing subscriber, welcome back. So as you may know on this channel, I mainly focus on web design tutorials. But what I want to do moving forward is actually shift on my content. So what a lot of people probably don't know about me is I have a very large 3D animation background. So I used to do professional 3D animations for a very large engineering firm from about 2004 to like 2010-ish. And then I didn't really touch much 3D in the past like 15 years. So that's what I want to kind of focus on this video is my work history in 3D animation, where I see like AI in the industry going, how I'm going to be actually integrating web and 3D together. So I'm going to be mixing those two worlds together, 3D animation and web. So as of right now, this is like the best time to kind of integrate those two things together. But you might see a shift in my content moving forward where I'm going to be heavily focusing on my learning experience getting back into 3D because a lot has changed. And then I plan on doing like a lot of different teachings in the future of, how I learned Blender and all of these different things. So it's going to be a little bit of a shift in the content that I'm creating, but there's going to be some really cool stuff coming out. So what I'm going to do now is kind of just walk you through my work history, and then I'm going to show you all the different industries that you can kind of work in if you're interested in 3D, and then just my final takes. So what I'm going to do now is kind of show you where I used to work and some of the examples that I used to create. So I used to work at this really big engineering firm called AECOM. It was originally called URS Corporation when I started back in 2004, but then they got bought up years later by AECOM, and then at that time, we started doing more virtual reality stuff. So I do have some experience with mainly this type of VR where you kind of have your phone hooked up to a device like this. And it was kind of like just simple, like static images or some video. I didn't really get involved into like the HoloLens and the fancy ones, like the Meta ones. I kind of was out of the 3D space once that started, but I do have some experience with that. So this is the type of animations. I'll just kind of play this demo that they have on their official website. These are mainly the type of animations I created when I was working there. It was mainly roadways. Sometimes we would do stuff like this, would have boats, bridges, architecture. So it was more like civil. So it was a lot of like CAD engineering. We pull in the models into 3D Studio Max. So yeah, I guess I'll give you some background is I used to use 3D Studio Max to create all this stuff because it integrated really well with like AutoCAD and all of those type of like civil programs. So what I plan on doing is not using 3D Studio Max just because it's a little more expensive and I feel like the Blender community is so much more open. It is open source. So I do plan on doing a lot of like Blender tutorials, but you could create any of this stuff inside of Blender. So the 3D program doesn't really matter as much. You can use any 3D program and basically get the same result. It's just one might take longer to render or set it up. But yeah, this is the type of stuff I would create. We would do interior stuff, but I would say when I was working on it, it was like 80% this, where it's like roadway animation. So I learned a lot about like how stripes work and the guardrails and how every state is different here in the United States. I learned a lot for sure. So that is kind of cool. If you do work at like an engineering firm like this, one day you might be working on like a roadway. The next day I was doing some pretty secret like military stuff that had to like sign NDAs and all this complicated. So it is kind of fun. So if you do work for a company that does mainly like engineering or government contracts, you're gonna work on some pretty cool projects. I do kind of miss that every day you kind of come in, you might get thrown a totally different type of animation. So yeah, that was some of the stuff right here. I didn't really work. This is all like newer stuff, but what I can do is show you some of the old renderings I have just to give you an idea of like what I was working with back then. So let me pull this over here. So these are all just going to be still, so there's not going to be any animation going on. But yeah, as you can see, we did tons of roadway animations. So all of these cars would be animating. Did plenty of like architecture, this type of stuff. Putting in the cars, all of this stuff takes a little bit of time. So just, another rendering of just kind of a building I helped work on. And like I said, it was a lot of, definitely a lot of roadway animations. But then what I like to do and what I might be focusing on more in the future, this is a really old rendering I did where I had this company reach out to me and they have this brochure and they give you like this disposable camera and a card. So it's definitely dating how old this animation was. But I had these kind of open up the box opened up, and then you have these come out like this. So I do want to focus more on like product visualization moving forward. Since it's just me, I'm not going to be doing roadway animation. So I just wanted to show that if you are kind of new to 3D, there's really like any industry can have 3D animation. So I want to mainly be focusing more on that. And then, like I said, I also did like really simple bridges. This was like a light study where I had to do like these really complicated light setups. And then I had an old friend of mine who was trying to start a water bottle business. So I created some water bottles in 3D animation, in 3D Studio Max, and he had custom labels. So yeah, I would definitely make this look a lot better nowadays. But I just wanted to show that that was some of my work history doing 3D animation. But definitely the highlight of my whole career working in 3D animation at that company was one of our animations of those bridges was inside of this extreme engineering on the Discovery Channel called the Woodrow Wilson Bridge over here in DC. It was cool. It was one of those projects that I was helping animate, and so it's really cool to see your work being displayed on Discovery, so you can like stream it on Discovery Plus. So I don't have the animation here, but yeah, if you do want to see some animation that I created at this company, it's called the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. It was season 3, episode 3 of Extreme Engineering. Pretty cool. Now I'm going to shift completely and just talk about how if you are new to 3D, there's a lot of different ways that you can use your 3D skills. And of course, one of the first things a lot of people might think about is the video game industry. So as you can see, I just kind of chose this smaller studio, and I just wanted to show that you can do a lot of different types of 3D all within the gaming industry. So I'll give you an example. One of the guys I used to work with at that AECOM company, he used to work in California as a full-time weapons designer. So he created like low poly weapons, but then he also knew people on staff at the time who were just making like really generic textures all day long. So from my experience, the gaming industry would be a very like repetitive type of industry to get into, especially at the lower level. So if you're kind of entry level, I'm not sure how it is nowadays with AI and all of these different textures are already been made, but 15, 20 years ago, you would have to be stuck on just creating like rock textures for weeks at a time. So I could tell you, working at the engineering firm, a lot of times doing like the roadway animations, like doing the stripes, that type of stuff, it got very repetitive. Where I really think I excelled or showed the most interest was with materials and the lighting. I wasn't really great at modeling, definitely not good at like character animation. So if you are into like character animation, what I would recommend is just go all in on that. So there would be someone like me who I would be good at doing like repetitive tasks, like adding low poly buildings to like those animations I showed earlier. I didn't mind doing that. I can't do a character animation. I don't even attempt it because I don't really know like the anatomy, how the body moves. There's a lot of like rigging. So my take is definitely just kind of specialize in one thing, or if you're going to be a generalist like I was, know your strengths and know your weaknesses. So like I said, I never got into character animation just because I know how much work was involved. So if that is something that you want to do, you can definitely get a career in this. Doing 3D animation or 3D characters is like a huge thing for gaming, Visual Studio Effects, that type of stuff. I did have a lot of interest going into game design, but doing like level design or environmental production is what they call it in this company, where basically you're making levels. So you're making the environments, you're adding the chairs, the creepy dentist chair here. You create that. So you would create all of this, and then you would never even touch like characters usually. If the company's set up like that, it's usually the level designer, it just does the levels. So that's what I showed a lot of interest in. And then, like I said, I like texturing, like in this example right here. I like how there's like a thumbprint or some grease here. Like I like adding those type of details to textures because it makes it look so much more realistic. So that's what I really specialized in or really showed interest. So now if we step away from the gaming industry, there's a whole industry where you can do product visualization. So something like this. So let me go into 3D product modeling. This company seemed pretty cool. I was just kind of looking on Google. So what you do is you could choose what type of background you want, and then that kind of depends on the price. So that's like a good way to do it, where this is all a 3D model and then they add like a background. This is just like a minimalist background, but this would all be 3D modeled. And then what I think is really cool is you can integrate this into like websites. So that's where I definitely, want to focus some of my time, is to integrate 3D and then web, because it's in 2025, this is a great time to do it. It's finally, the tech is finally like came together and you can do these things. This wasn't really possible like 10, 15 years ago. It wasn't very easy. So I do have some tutorials on my channel already of this type of stuff. If you want to see, it's very basic. It's not the super high-end renderings like this, but I do want to get more into how I can create these renderings and if I can integrate it into web. So stay tuned on that in my channel. I might be getting more into that. But yeah, you could have a whole career and just create products, and it would be really easy actually, because once you have like your studio setup, which would mean like the backdrop, this type of stuff, you could just drop in your models. So you would just take the time to render it, add the materials. So once you have everything kind of ready, you can start to kick these things out pretty quick. So that's what's cool about this. And as you can see, they have all these different type of backgrounds, but you could also then animate these things. So you're not just stuck to renderings, stills. You can do some pretty cool animations right here. And so this is why I think AI can do some of this stuff, but rendering takes a long time. Like you have to go frame by frame. So a little animation like this might not look like a big deal, but that could take hours to render. So if you're using like an AI prompt and you need to change something like the background color got out of whack, you're not going to really tell AI to do that. It might mess it up again. So that's why I think AI inside of the 3D animation industry isn't there yet. And it might not ever get to that point where it's just prompts, because you need to have full control over these things. So yeah, that's my take on the AI. I have a lot of opinions about it, but that's where I fall right now. Is AI is here for sure in the 3D animation industry, but it's not taking over, not like it is with web design. And then another cool thing that wasn't really around when I was doing 3D is if you're really good at modeling, you can probably have a whole career just based on creating 3D models for printers. So one cool example is I like to go to a lot of different markets in our area, and I'm starting to see a lot more people who have a 3D printer at home, or a couple of them, and they're selling like 3D models of like dragons, or in this case we have little succulent plants, like the pot that it sits in, that's all 3D printed. So you can legit buy one of these, learn some 3D, and you could start a whole business just like selling your creation. So you could there's a lot of different things you can do. You can go into the dental, engineering, automotive parts, like medical. There's a lot of different things you can do. And then the last industry I'll kind of just talk about is if you're really good at creating concept art, or if you're just a good artist in general, there's still going to be a demand for 3D artists. Now I know you can prompt a lot of these AI tools with these type of artwork, but I think that there's still going to be a demand for people who really want authentic, human-made 3D concepts like this. So I don't think anytime soon you need to worry about AI taking over, because it's limited right now. And then especially when it comes to the way it models out the 3D models, for example, like something like this, it's not going to create it and rig it where it's actually going to be something that you could easily change. So that's why I think AI is years away from really disrupting the 3D animation industry. Now, I did mention Blender, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on. So what I want to talk about here is I'm loving how the community is very open. It's very much like how the WordPress community is. It's very open. And if you go to just blender.org/community, inside of the English, this is all of the different communities they have. And they also have a really good Discord. So yeah, you can get some really good information. They have the Stack Exchange here, Reddit. So there's a lot of different ways that you can learn from people. You can showcase your work. You can ask for feedback, that type of stuff. Now, one thing that I do love is there's a really big marketplace just for Blender. So this is formerly known as the Blender Market. It's called Super High right now. And this is where you can go ahead, and if you want to save a lot of time, this is where you're going to want to have some add-ons. So what I showed you before when I worked at the engineering firm, all of those cars that we had, those were like low poly cars that were made at one point, and we just reuse them all the time. And then we also had ways that we would add trees like automatically. Within minutes you can have like trees populating your whole scene, so you're not individually adding like each tree and each car all the time. You could do it like via scripts. So for example, we used to have all of those cars animating. It used to just be where we just create one line where they needed to go, the cars, and then we had a script that would automatically add the cars and like how fast we needed it. So that type of stuff will save you tons of hours. So yeah, like here's a really good example of something that could save you tons of time. So a lot of times when I would have to create these buildings, I would manually create each building. It was kind of like low poly, but I had to go in and like do all of this stuff. Whereas now for $100, you can see right here, you can get a commercial license, and someone created like a script where it's almost like a video game at this point, where you can go ahead and you can add in how many lanes you need, and then it's going to automatically adjust, you know, the width of the street and all of that stuff, and you can change these buildings out very easily. So this type of stuff is honestly blowing my mind, because I didn't know that it could be so automated or driven by code. So a lot of this is just code that Blender can take, and you can see right here, he added all of these different things that you could turn on and off. It's crazy. It reminds me of almost playing a video game, but you have full control over everything. So you can change out the models, you can change out the textures, how many cars you want. So as you can see, I'm pretty passionate about the 3D animation world, and I'm really looking forward to getting into the Blender community. So I kind of compare Blender and WordPress together. They're both open source platforms. They have thousands and thousands of users who love to share their content. You could do free add-ons or extensions. You could do paid ones. You could do all different types of things in these two communities. My take right now in 2025 is the WordPress community is pretty stagnant. In my opinion, they're not really moving and innovating very fast compared to like how fast I'm seeing like Blender. Blender's coming out with some really cool stuff. There's tons of people in the community, in their Discord. There's all these different areas where people are like contributing and making your life a lot easier when you're developing like animations. Whereas WordPress right now, they've recently come out and said they're only going to do like one big like core update a year. I'm starting to see that AI is really taking on the web design industry a lot more aggressively than other industries. So I think that's one of the major shifts that I saw, and I want to get ahead of it, because my take is the AI isn't going to take over 3D anytime soon. It might get there eventually, but man, AI inside the web design industry moved fast. And directly, I'm seeing some of our clients, or potential clients, I would say, they're just using AI builders. They're free or very cheap. And so they're not hiring web designers anymore. So that's why I'm shifting, and I really want to focus on maybe integrating those two things together. If not, I could just focus on helping people like learn Blender, because it's a very complicated software, and I feel like I could definitely contribute back to the community with some, lessons, anything along those lines. So that's it. In this video, I really just wanted to cover my experience, where I see stuff going. Now, leave a comment down below if you're new to 3D animation, or if you're just getting back into it after a long break like me. I'm really curious to see who I'm talking to on the other side of this camera. If you're new to 3D animation, if you've already been in it, if you want to learn more about how to integrate like web and 3D together. So yeah, leave a comment below. I really want to get a conversation going and just see where this type of stuff is going to take me.